We needed those officers to be on the street fighting crime. And instead, we have several officers that are riding around.
Breaking news. The police department has just dropped shocking details about Tiffany Henyard. The information they've shared with investigators is now under intense review, and it could potentially link her to activities that raise some serious red flags. This bombshell revelation is turning heads and raising crucial questions about her behavior and questionable connections. Is Henyard really the person she's been portraying, or is there something much darker hiding behind the scenes? Stay tuned as the investigation unfolds.
And that's all I got to say, and there's nothing you can do about it. All right.
People are even picking up on her vocabulary. Stop messing with her. Tiffany Henyard, hoodwinked, bamboozled. She forgot the grandstanding part. But anyway, as we go deeper into the meeting, they kind of start to bring forward the issue with the city of Dolton on how they're losing money. Now, they would always talk about it, but now it's starting to reach reality to where, as you know, layoffs will be taking place. And also they're trying to sell certain buildings. Now, if you guys remember Tiffany Henyard's dream to build a swimming pool so all the black babies could learn how to swim, I don't know what she's on, but she wants to have a swimming pool, Segway station. But anyways, we're going to hear what Kiana Belcher had to say about the whole situation and her plans, or the village's plans, on selling.
Sources have just revealed that the state has cut off all funding to Dolton amid growing concerns about possible money laundering. This bombshell has triggered a major scandal, and the heat is on. Reports are now suggesting that top officials, including none other than Mayor Tiffany Henyard, could be directly involved. Allegations of massive financial mismanagement have rocked the community, shaking public trust to its core. As a result, state leaders have made it clear they won't release any more funds until a full investigation is completed. What does this mean for Dolton's future? And how deep does this scandal go?
I mean, the state of Illinois announced that they will stop sending money to the state, to the county of Illinois, of Dolton, and I mean, Lori Lightfoot. I have to admit, I was wrong, but later on more. RJ.
Yeah, Tiffany Henyard keeps on keeping on. She is a super mayor, super delusional, and KR, you know what the thing is? If you only follow her. If you only follow her, then you would think that she's doing, like, she's successful, right? Like a good manager would, diligently, responsibly, not putting your own interest before the interest of the collective. Yeah. And the financial reports are one of the ways that the public can see transparently what you did with the resources that were at your disposal. Now, if you're already under fire because there's a lot of suspicion of how...
Tiffany Henyard is now at the center of a major controversy, with serious accusations that she's been using the local police for her own personal gain. Reports are surfacing that instead of focusing on public safety, police officers have been diverted to carry out tasks that seem to only benefit Henyard herself. Is she exploiting her power to protect her own interests? The public is demanding answers, and this explosive revelation could change everything.
Stealing, okay, misusing, as they've been saying, taxpayer money, spending upwards of $3.5 million, or at least driving the town's money straight into the doggone dirt. Now, one of her main cops, one of the cops that was on her payroll, man, this guy was getting paid some serious ducats, all right? This dude was making upwards of, he collected about over $200,000 just from the mayor itself due to overtime and protection on the mayor. Let's be real. Then also, if he was such a good cop, then why was he forcibly kicked out? Why was he fired? If he was such a good cop, why was he exposed and kicked out and fired?
In a shocking turn of events, one of Tiffany Henyard's own officers has reportedly filed for bankruptcy, raising serious concerns about the financial stability of her entire administration. This revelation is sparking a wave of questions. What does this say about the credibility of Henyard's leadership? Could this be just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to financial mismanagement in Dolton? The pressure is mounting, and the truth is starting to surface.
Dirty cop out here, or at least a dirty cop at the time, working for Tiffany Henyard, taking all that money and, I don't know, stuffing it into his mattress at night. I don't know. But he clearly was trying to hide his assets, trying to hide the money that he was actually gaining so that he would not lose that money, which is absolutely crazy to me. But that also shows you the kind of company that Tiffany Henyard was keeping. Okay, you are what you eat. You are the company that you keep, so on and so forth. You can use every single saying under the sun to describe or to talk about this particular situation. But to me, you can see clear as day that this guy is corrupt, and I guarantee you, he's not the only one that's corrupt in this group. Tiffany Henyard, I'm sure, was all about it as well and was totally engaging in this whole situation as well. What's interesting about this as well is that we can definitely see that the tension is starting to tighten, right? The focus is starting to zero in slowly but surely into Tiffany Henyard. If they're going after the deputy chief of police, one of her men that she was part of her security detail, it's only a matter of time that herself and anybody else that was connected to that money is going to go down with them.
The shocking bankruptcy of one of Tiffany Henyard's officers has ignited a firestorm of questions about how thoroughly Henyard's appointees are being vetted. Could it be that key positions in the city's administration are being filled without proper qualifications? What kind of leadership is Dolton really getting under Henyard's watch? And the controversy doesn't stop there. Residents are beginning to question whether the mayor is truly focused on their safety or if she's using resources to protect herself. Reports are now coming forward claiming that the very security team designed to protect Dolton's residents is actually being used to safeguard Henyard personally. Could this be another case of her prioritizing her own interests over the safety of the community? Henyard's time as mayor has been nothing short of a whirlwind of controversy. From misusing taxpayer money to outrageous acts of self-promotion, she's become one of the most divisive figures in Dolton's history. Not only does she have a security detail costing taxpayers around $250,000 a year, but she's also been accused of using public funds to fund billboards with her face plastered everywhere. And if you think it stops there, think again. She's even created a 2024 calendar with her own birthday highlighted. Is this the leadership the residents deserve? Tiffany Henyard, the mayor who controls a staggering $225K salary, has made it nearly impossible for anyone to challenge her. In a move that can only be described as self-preserving, she's proposed a drastic 90% salary cut for any potential successor, leaving only $25K on the table if she's ever unseated. Yet, despite this, more and more residents are ready to run against her. The backlash is growing, and Dolton's residents are fed up. To make matters worse, there are now reports suggesting that Henyard might have fired the Dolton police chief after he began investigating her actions, particularly the misuse of credit card receipts and serious financial irregularities. Is the mayor truly above scrutiny, or is there something darker going on behind the scenes? As pressure mounts, Tiffany Henyard has defended her actions, insisting that her security measures are fully legal and justified due to the threats she faces. But with allegations of excessive spending, mismanagement of city funds, and questionable behavior piling up, residents are starting to ask the tough questions. Is the mayor protecting herself, or is she protecting the people who elected her? The corruption accusations against Tiffany Henyard just keep stacking up, and now a shocking new claim has surfaced. Reports say Henyard has been funneling taxpayer dollars into her privately owned cancer awareness charity, a practice that's illegal. This isn't the first time we've heard allegations like this. In fact, the police chief was investigating similar claims before his sudden and controversial dismissal, and the public is outraged. Some are even saying it looks like Henyard is using her position to silence anyone holding her accountable. One Twitter user shared some bold claims about the mayor, accusing her of overpaying her officers to act as her personal security. This isn't just your typical overtime. One officer allegedly made $13,000 in just 2 weeks for over 300 hours of overtime. That's a red flag. No one believes anyone could work that many hours in that short a time. There's a growing suspicion that these numbers might have been padded, and the investigation into these claims is ongoing. The ex-police chief's attorney is standing behind these allegations, but Henyard's sudden firing of the chief has only deepened the mistrust. Was this an attempt to cover up the truth? Tiffany Henyard's name is becoming synonymous with corruption. A user tweeted that she's one of the most corrupt mayors ever, and they might be right. Henyard is accused of embezzling hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of taxpayer dollars. Right now, the city of Dolton is facing a $7 million deficit, and it seems like this is just the tip of the iceberg. What's even more troubling is that her cancer awareness charity was shut down by the state government after it was revealed. She spent tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars on frivolous expenses. For example, she spent $10,000 on a weekend bike trip to Springfield to support a bill that never even got filed, and she spent another $17,000 on merchandise for the charity, merch, that most people claim had no real purpose. But wait, there's more. Her personal security detail, which is costing taxpayers a fortune, doesn't just work overtime. They often rack up triple overtime. One officer even reportedly worked 303 hours in just 2 weeks. That's more than a full-time job, and it's becoming harder to believe that these hours are legitimate. Let's not forget the infamous Vegas trip. Henyard flew first class to Vegas on the taxpayer's dime, racking up over $8,000 in hotel expenses for an undisclosed reason. What was the mayor even doing in Vegas? No one knows, and she hasn't given any explanation. On top of all of this, there's an ongoing FBI investigation into a disturbing incident involving her personal assistant, who she allegedly fired after reporting an assault. And in a stunning twist, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, despite her own controversial history, has reportedly been called in to lead an investigation into Henyard's administration. With all the corruption claims stacking up, it seems like Henyard's days of getting away with these actions may be numbered. The truth is coming, and it's only a matter of time before the full extent of her actions is exposed.